Hi guys! Welcome to my channel. This is my very first YouTube video, so I apologize if I, seem a little awkward. I've done YouTube before, but I kind of just decided that I wanted to do it again, so here we are. So, today's video, I was gonna do a, bookish, booktube tag, newbie tag, but then I was like, that's boring. I just want to get into the content, so today I'm going to be doing my top 5-star books, so let's go. Okay, so I'm filming this in front of my bookshelf, and obviously my bookshelf has my books in them, so I apologize if books keep disappearing from the bookshelf. I have to take them out to talk about them. But anyway, the first book that is a 5-star book for me that I'm going to talk about is Boisterous by Nadine Brandeis. I'm not sure if I'm saying her name right, so I apologize if I'm not. But I read this book. This was my favorite book of last year, which isn't really saying anything actually, because I only read like 12 books last year, but we're gonna change that this year. So this book is basically about a girl who is granted with the ability to turn her tears into wishes, but one day she is cursed so that when her next tear falls, she will die. So basically she has to go and she has to go to this well to hopefully fix this curse, and she meets a man along the way. And this book is so good. The author is one of my favorites because she's a clean author and she writes all kinds of different books. So this book is totally clean, no swearing, no spice, not too much violence, none of that stuff. And I really actually liked that about this book, because as a Christian writer and booktuber and a person who just enjoys reading books, it's really hard to find books that aren't just pure spice. So I really appreciate her books. So yeah, this one was a total 5 stars for me. It had an ambiguous ending, or an open ending, which I'm not really a fan of open endings, but the author said that there might be a possible sequel, so I guess if a sequel comes out, that's understandable, but I would have preferred a more closed ending, but obviously it didn't affect me too much because I rated it 5 stars, so yeah. Okay, so the second book I have is called Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater. Again, don't know if I'm saying anybody's name right, but this book is, okay, it was on my TBR for so long, and I couldn't really find it anywhere, and I was actually getting ready to order it on Amazon, but then I went to Barnes & Noble and just happened to see it on the shelf passing by, and so I just had to get it. I like how short it is, because I love long books, but honestly they're kind of daunting to me, so this book was a really quick read, and it was just, I've never read a book like this before. So I'm very new to the whole fairy trope, I guess. It's honestly kind of its own genre now, and so I really wasn't sure about the whole fae thing, so I got this book as an introduction. And I also apologize because it is thundering outside, so if you hear crashing booms, that's what it is. This book is set in London, so it's a Regency era book. It's literally Pride and Prejudice meets fae. That's actually, I'm pretty sure how the book is described, is literally it's just Pride and Prejudice meets fae. It's so good. The only thing is that the main character's name is Theodora, but they call her Dora, and so every time I said her name, I could not help but think of Dora the Explorer. So this book is about a girl who, when she was younger, she was cursed by a fairy, and so basically she is kind of just emotionless, and she has half a soul. So then she goes with her, I think it's her cousin, it's been a while, to London. She meets this Lord Sorcerer named Elias, or Elias. I think it's Elias. And he basically promises to help her fix her condition, and things happen. I can't say too much about it without spoiling it, but it's just so good. The love interest is literally just Mr. Darcy. He's grumpy. The combination of this emotionless character with this hothead sorcerer is it's just great. So 5 stars. Okay, so if you've been on Book Talk for or Bookstagram for any amount of time, You've probably seen this book on there before. It is Once Upon a American Heart by Stephanie Garber. It's been really popular on like Book Talk and Bookstagram lately, and honestly I feel like it's definitely worth the hype. This book has like literally everything you could ever want. I mean, it has like immortal beings, it has vampires, it has a sassy villain love interest. So this book is about the main character. Her name is Evangeline Fox. She finds out that the love of her life is going to marry someone else, and so she makes a deal with the Prince of Hearts named Jax. So she strikes a deal with him to stop the wedding, and you know, it does happen, but it has like really bad consequences, and so then 1,000 things happen, and it's been a while since I've read it, so I'm having a hard time remembering. I just remember that when I read this, I really loved it. So yeah, unfortunately, I kind of DNF'd the second book. I felt like it was getting a little too spicy for me personally, but maybe I'll pick it back up and just try to avoid those spicy bits. But yeah, this book is 5 stars. So the next book I have is House-Moving Castle by Diana Wynne Jones. I am a Studio Ghibli girly. I love Studio Ghibli movies, and I've been dying to watch House-Moving Castle for so long, and when I first watched it, I was totally in love. It is such an incredible movie, and if you haven't seen it, I totally recommend watching it. After I watched it, I really wanted to read the book. I was very curious because people were saying that it's nothing like the movie, or like you have to treat House-Moving Castle, the book, and House-Moving Castle, the movie, very differently, and you 100% do. So this book is different, especially because it's a children's book, or it's like on the younger side. Like I think it's probably written for like 7 to 10-year-olds. It has a very easy to read writing style, and also it just kind of has that feel of like a storybook. Yeah, it's very different. There's so many things different in the book that honestly I'll have to dedicate a whole video to it. The funniest is Hal is so much more, like if you thought Hal was dramatic in the movie, the book is a whole different level. Hal is so dramatic. He is a drama queen. In one chapter, he gets a cold and basically just like is acting like he's dying when he has like a common cold. So I mean, like, you know, average man behavior, but it's really fun. It's really funny. I totally recommend this book. 5 stars. It's so different from the movie, but I try not to let that affect my rating because obviously this came first, you know? So overall, 5 stars. Really hilarious book and just a really fun read. Alright, so the last book I have is called A Word So Fitly Spoken by Tia Lawrence. Now this book is really big, so it's probably not going to be in frame. In fact, I don't know if any of these books were in frame because the chair is so short and the camera is so high, so apologies if all you see is like a little sliver of a book. Again, like I said, I'm so new to like the whole Fae thing, and I think I actually read this before I read Half a Soul. I can't remember. I'll have to check my Instagram, which if you want to follow me on Instagram for some bookish content, it's right there. This book, I was quite scared because when I hear the words Fae, like I think like what a lot of people think when they hear Fae is like just like terrible villain men that are like disguised as the good guys because, you know, they're attractive and that makes them good, I guess, somehow. It's like every single Fae book I've ever seen, the love interest is just like the most terrible person ever, and he's just not likable. And I was just so tired of like Fae books where like the love interest is women. So this book was a breath of fresh air. The love interest is Morley Gray, but he's not like a tyrant like every single one of these other Fae books. I'm not gonna name any names, but you know. So this book is a retelling of 1001 Nights, which I've never heard of that story before, so I don't know how it translates to Fae, but I was gonna give a summary, but it's kind of confusing, so actually I'm not going to. You're just gonna have to read the book and find out. But it's really good. Obviously, it took me a hot minute to finish because it's really thick, but honestly, totally worth it. I definitely plan to get the other, I think, 4 books. I have some money, so hopefully that, you know, happens soon. Perfect, 5 stars. There was no spice. I don't think there was any swearing. I can't remember though. Not like excessive violence, so overall 5 stars. So I hope you enjoyed my first ever YouTube video here on BookTube. If you would like to, you can hit that like button and subscribe. It'd be greatly appreciated, and I'll see you next time. Bye!